Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. I need you guys to smash that like button. Today I'm going to show you one plugin that will make your FL Studio stuff sound a little more vibrant and real. So firstly, let's just load up some sounds you guys may have in the stock version. Let's go to the channel rack, open up Flex, and we're going to go to the piano under Essential Pianos. If you don't see this, go to the Store tab, scroll all the way down and look for the free download icon here and download the Essential Piano. Let's go to Essential Pianos. And I like the Yamaha C7. Let's turn off the reverb limiter. Here's what it sounds like. Let's record a little trap melody here. Let's do something like that. Let's record this in. So I'm using my actual MIDI controller to control this. All right, let's just fix this MIDI. Let's hit Control Q and Control L to fix that gap. All right, so now that we have that in there, let's open up an 808, which is usually what most people do pretty early in their production. So I'm just gonna do these two things. I don't wanna go overkill with this explanation here. Let's open this up and let's make sure the metronome's on. And I'm just gonna play the root notes this time. All right, so now we have the 808. Let's double click, hit Control Q. Let's send this to the mixer. So both of these need to go to the mixer. Let's go to the channel rack, hit Control L. So here's the plugin. So we're gonna create a sub mix for you guys so you guys can kind of see these all in one thing. And the plugin's called Fruity Blood Overdrive. So this works usually really well on bass by itself or groups of stuff. So by default, the gain's turned up. So let's just turn it down. So we shouldn't hear much difference yet. Now I'm going to turn up the preamp, but as I turn the preamp up, we're going to turn down the post gain to compensate for the loudness. And I can start to level. So let's turn it on and off. Here's before. Here's after. All right, it definitely adds more life. Now I'm gonna make this really aggressive sounding. And like I said, this isn't meant to always be on everything. Sometimes it just needs to be on one thing or another. So let's do that. Let's make it very subtle for the group, but then let's see if we could load this up on the 808 by itself, Fruity Blood Overdrive, and then let's turn it off the group. Again, turn the post gain down before you start messing with the preamp. This is adding the harmonic content we need for the 808 to translate, and it also sounds a little more full. Let's turn this effect on and off. Here's off. Here's on. So it's a nice saturation that still leaves headroom. Other saturation plugins in FL Studio tend to just make the sound feel smaller. All right, so that is the one technique. Now another plugin to mess with on your stuff is called Emphasizer. Very simple, straightforward. We're just gonna turn on soft clipping. And let's make sure it's on. And we're just pushing into Emphasizer. Normally I don't push past 3, but I'm just showing you guys what it sounds like. Now if you're really worried about the loudness, you could turn on level matching here. So we get a little bit of that triode distortion and probably pentode. Now for this type of sound, because I'm pushing it heavy into the limiter, we're going to turn down the piano so it doesn't get involved in that distortion. All trying to find that blend. So again, we're trying to get the piano not to crunch basically, just by turning it down at the source level. Now here's a non-plugin that people don't talk about. If you click this little icon here, this is the View Extra Volume and Stereo Properties button in the mixer. And we should see this little knob here. So basically we can mess with this, pull it to the left to create more stereo width. This sometimes opens up the track without doing too much. If you want it more mono, you could turn your sound to the right. Personally, I don't think this track needs to be more mono, it needs to be wider. And we could do the same or similar thing with a Fruity Stereo Shaper. Phase is basically, think of it like a fine tune before panning, differences between the left and the right. Think of delay as a more aggressive difference between the left and the right. So I'll exaggerate so that you guys can hear. So this is like clear delay. You hear the time difference, and now as we pull the delay back, it's less apparent, the time difference. So this is one way to widen your track. Normally I don't do this on a track level, I do this on a sound by sound level. But this is also a way to make your tracks sound a little bit different. Now also we can mess with the phase, which is just a little more subtle of what we just did. We're just kind of shaping where frequencies pop up. So we just get a different face of that 808 depending on the phase. And look, we still have a ton of headroom. We still have, what, 6 dB of headroom. Now, as you can see, the phase is really making this track heavily lean to the right. So that's why I said this is usually done on a track-by-track basis. Here we have a very heavy amount panned to the right. So this is a little more subtle. So again, here's before, the simple emphasizer and Fruity Stereo Shaper. And then here's with it. It just creates the illusion of space, like you're in a room. It creates the illusion of space. So let's turn all the plugins off. Let me highlight these tracks here. So here's before. Here's after. Let's pull back on some of the distortion on the 808. So again, we don't get that smooth 808 because now we're adding harmonic content through the Blood Overdrive and through the emphasizer plugin. So if I turn all those back on, we're going to get a different tone to the 808. It makes the 808 feel different. So at this point, you just turn your stuff up to make it louder. So let's compare it at a louder level. So those simple plugins can, add a little dimension to your track, but also add that harmonic content to make it sound different. Just wanted to show you guys those little small things people don't really talk about. So thank you guys for watching. It's Game from BusyWorksBeats.com. Peace out, guys.